Hello and welcome to the Tome of Worm podcast. I'm your host, Minty, and sat diagonally from me is my co-star, Pops.
All right.
How you doing, mate? All right?
Yeah, good. You?
Good, yeah, not bad, mate, not bad.
Good. What have you been up to? I'm going to ask you the question this time.
Ooh, it's flipping the
We're
script.
going to swap it a bit.
Well, we went down to a nice little local game shop, didn't we?
We did. I'd never been there before. Didn't even know it existed.
It's very nice. I'm going to give them a nice little shout out for anybody who's in the Northampton area. Manor Screw in Northampton Town Centre. It's a very nice establishment. Very lovely owner.
Very nice gentleman. Did me a nice deal on some bits and pieces.
Yeah,
some good advice.
It's a hustle and bustling place. Anybody that's like a single gamer or trading card game player, definitely head down if you can. That's Manor Screw.
He's got a really good amount. We'll give him a shout out on Instagram as well.
Yes, absolutely. So, can you remember what we're doing in this episode, Pops?
We are talking about American games and Euro games, aren't we? And
yes, we are. Ameritrash, as it's known.
It's not like Eurotrash. So there's no PP and Pawpaw.
Nope.
There's no Jean-Paul Gaultier getting his little wiener out.
This is actually a request from a listener. They requested to learn the difference between Euro games and American style games.
Yeah, they weren't quite sure. Like, to them, it was like, what's the difference? It's a board game.
It's a term they've obviously heard thrown around. So we're going to go through that today. It does mean that the Pops quiz is slightly different this week too.
I think you'll find out how good I am.
So, we'll get started, and I'm going to give a little description of what each type of genre is. So obviously we're going to start with Euro games. I don't know why I said obviously, but we're going to start with Euro games.
It's because we were once part of Europe.
Oh, Euro games have nothing to do with being made in Europe. Just as an FYI. I have a definition from our good friends at Wikipedia. I am just going to read it to you because it's the best way that it describes it. So, Euro games, or alternatively designer board games or German-style board games, are a classification of board games that are very popular on Board Game Geek. Though not all Euro games are European, and not all of them are board games, they share a set of similar characteristics. A game need not fit all the criteria to be considered a Euro game. Okay, so I've got a list of elements that most Euro games share. So that's player conflict is indirect and usually involves competition over resources or points. Combat is extremely rare. Players are never eliminated from the game. That's a big one. There is very little randomness or luck involved in these games. Randomness that is there is mitigated by having the player decide what to do after a random event happens rather than before. Dice are rare but not unheard of in Euro games.
So you're looking at games like...
Let's not give that away yet. You'll ruin my game. The designer of the game is listed on the game's box cover. Though this is not particular to Euros, the Eurogame movement seems to have started this trend. Apparently. That's good, isn't it? Much attention is paid to the artwork and components. Plastic and metal are rare, more often pieces are made of wood.
Is that where the meeple come from?
A meeple is a designation of a Euro game, yes. Euro games have a definite theme. However, the theme most often has very little to do with the gameplay. The focus instead is on the mechanics. For example, a game about space may play the same as a game about ancient Rome. Euro games are concerned with getting the most strategy from the least or minimal mechanics. And Euro games typically have multiple viable paths to scoring points or securing the win. That is the definition of a Euro game. There's quite a lot of stuff there. So it just tends to be no player-to-player combat, or very, very little player-to-player combat. Taking away luck or randomness, so pure strategy. And the theme isn't important to gameplay. They have theme, but that doesn't make a difference on the gameplay. Which is why some people don't like playing a lot of Euro games, because they feel like they're exactly the same game, just reskinned.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that isn't true, but that could be some people's opinion. Right. Ameritrash, or American-style games. This definition is a lot shorter than the Euro game one. It is defined in contrast to Euro games. American-style board games, or sometimes called Ameritrash, generally feature a prominent theme that is tied to the game's mechanics. They encourage direct conflict between players and have a greater degree of randomness or luck. So that was a lot of information. So as a quick summary, when comparing Ameritrash and Euro games, Amerigames offer more thematic immersion and randomness, while Euro games focus on strategy and calculated decision making. I hope that clears that up for you, Claire, who is the lady that who requested this. So, I know we normally do this section later on, but we're going to move on to the Pops quiz, because today the Pops quiz is Euro or no. I'm going to give you, I've got 10 this time, the name of a game, and you're going to tell me if it's a Euro game or not a Euro game.
Okay. Mixing things up a little bit.
Yeah. So, obviously, everybody, remember to write your scores in the comments. If you feel like it, obviously. I'm not telling you have to, but it'd be nice to see how people are doing.
Play along.
So, question number 1. Ticket to Ride, Euro or no?
I'm going Euro.
Correct. Well done. Hellboy, the board game, Euro or no?
No.
Well done. Do you know why it's not a Euro?
I want to say because of the battles and the dice.
Because of the theme, yeah. It is a cooperative board game.
Mm-hmm.
So. Azul, Euro or no?
Euro.
Correct. Disney Villainous, Euro or no?
Euro.
No. It's not. It is a strategy game, but it's not classed as a Euro game. Number 5. Western Legends, Euro or no?
No.
Correct. It's very Western heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6. Pandemic, Euro or no?
Euro.
It is Euro. Well done. Number 7. Ankh, Euro or no?
That's definitely a no.
Yep. Number 8. Earth,
Euro.
or no?
Euro.
It is a Euro, yeah. Number 9. Undaunted Normandy, Euro or no?
Euro.
No. Because one side plays the Germans, one side plays the Americans.
Because of the combat.
It's a conflict game. It's a war game.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Merv, Euro or no?
I don't even know what Merv is.
I put this one in because I told you about it when we were playtesting some games.
You're implying that I was listening at the time.
Standard. So, in Merv, you have to collect resources to gain points. You have to place meeples around the board.
I'm going to be Euro.
It's Euro, yes. So yeah, you got 2 wrong. You got Villainous wrong and Undaunted wrong.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody that listened to the last episode, our Christmas episode, Undaunted is also a very good 2-player game. Only recently played it, so.
Yeah, I was there when you brought it, but I didn't get to play it.
So, we're going to talk a little bit about different types of games that Euro and Merry Games. Where do you want to start? Do you want to do Merry Games or Euro Games first, Pops?
Let's do Ameritrash.
Ameritrash?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to start with my favourite Ameritrash game. Well, one of my favourite and one of my first. Star Wars Rebellion. Obviously, it's very, very theme heavy. One person plays the Empire, one person plays the Rebels. The Empire have to find the Rebel base and kill everybody inside it. The Rebels have to complete objectives to move the timer marker closer. Obviously, there's a lot of conflict. The battles that you have involve dice. So that is a firm Ameritrash game. A very, very good game, though. I don't think we've had time to sit down and play that one yet, have we? It's definitely on the list.
We were going to play it, but we just ran out of time, didn't we?
Yeah,
annoyingly.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a big game. I've had one game end in 5 minutes and one game end in 4.5 hours. So, it's one of those. A good game. Did you want to talk about one of the games we played the other day?
Yeah, so we played Ankh. Is it Ankh? That's how it's pronounced?
Yep.
Which was quite a good gameplay. Like, visually, it was a really big game. Like, really big on the table. Can't really play it at my house because I don't have big tables.
It'd be floorball games.
We'd be playing on the floor, yes.
Your dog would bark more than normal.
Just a bit.
If I bring out Anubis.
Yeah, the rule book was really, really good. It really clearly explained everything really well. There was good use of pictures and templates, but there was a couple of ambiguous rules that did kind of like mess it up for me a little bit. It didn't seem to fit the play.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. It's the having more people around a monument and me still taking control of it.
Yeah, it's like I have more.
I think that's literally down to the fact you can only take over a certain amount of them. Like I said at the time, but it is something that did cause us. It was about half hour. We were trying to work it out, weren't we?
Yeah, it was one of those rules which, like, well, hold on, I've got two or three characters, I guess.
I think you had your god next to it, didn't you?
Yeah, and yet nowhere in the rule book did it say that the god would overpower one of your minions.
Well,
should we say?
Just in case people don't know what Ankh is, we should probably rewind a little bit there. So Ankh is a merry game by Coolmin. I think they're just called COMN now, aren't they?
CMO.
And yeah, it used to be Coolmini or not, but they've just been called Coolmin.
Coolmin.
Or CMON games. The premise of the game is to earn the most devotion. You take on one of the Egyptian gods as your team. You can have Anubis, Ra, Amun, Horus, Osiris. And they have their own models, which are incredible.
Yeah, model-wise, they are amazing. Like, I don't think I've ever played a game where the miniatures were so detailed and
yet.
CMON
games are very good at their models. I think there's only a couple that do better ones. Awakened Realms. But Awakened Realms like to sun dip their models. So then you have to take over monuments, temples, and all that kind of stuff to earn devotion, and move around, and you can end up fighting for positions, and you can split lands, and it is really good, fun to play. It is one of the triplets from CMON games. You got itself Ankh, Rising Sun, and Blood Rage. I've played Rising Sun and Ankh, but not Blood Rage. I know Ankh is Egyptians, Rising Sun is Japanese, and Blood Rage is Vikings, I believe. they all play the two I've played obviously play very different from each other. There are different rules, different sets. There's enough if you've got both on your shelf. I want Rising Sun, but I wouldn't be happy if I didn't have Neil's copy because he has it all. And as discussed in the last episode, it is very expensive to have everything, especially now that it's not in Kickstarter. But yeah, is there anything else on Ankh?
Yeah, so kind of going back to the setup of the game, it was quite long. There was quite a lot of bits and pieces to get set, but the instruction manual really highlighted how easy it was to put together in a way. The images and explanations were really good. Once you've learned to play it, the game's a lot easier. First time playing, there's a lot of going back to the book, going back to, hold on, so I need to do this in order to do this to get to here. So that kind of did mark it down a little bit. Feel like it might be more interesting with more than just two people.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I think 3 or 4 of you will be a really good game. Replayability is quite high. I think there's you could have different gods. You can set up in different areas, and then like the good selection of expansions as well. I think adding the expansions just going to make that game even better. But yeah, overall, I'd give it probably a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. What score did I give it? You've got the.
You gave it a 7 out of 10 as well.
Lovely. I really enjoyed Ankh. Obviously, I'd played Rising Sun first. And when I went to the expo one year, I spotted it, and it was really. I didn't expect it to be so different. I love Egyptian mythology.
Mm-hmm.
It's not mythology though, is it?
Yeah.
History.
Mythology.
And mythology, I suppose. I mean, if you just look around the room, the blind's down where most of it is.
Yep.
But I've got Anubises and Ra's and Horuses all over the place. Just going back to how difficult the game is, it is a 3.12 out of 5 on the complex scale.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a medium weight game because, like you said, there's not that many rules to remember, but the rules are quite in depth. And there are lots of consequences for everything you do. Doing certain actions moves a piece, and once it gets to that piece, then it triggers a whole other step where you start to claim monuments or split lands or start wars.
Yeah, and everything that goes into your devotion.
Yeah,
it's easy to get left behind.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in the 2-player. In the 3-player, it's probably a little bit closer. Maybe with 3 more players.
And obviously there are different scenarios as well. I mean, we played the basic scenario. There are other scenarios that make you into combat a lot more and stuff like that. We did play with a full board. Yeah, so that was Ankh. There's one more Ameri game I'd like to talk about. We haven't played it yet. And that is, it's kind of a mixture of 2 games I'm going to talk about, and that's Mansions of Madness and Descent, Legends of the Dark, not the Journeys in the Dark. I want to talk about these games because they're slightly different, and it's something done by the company that makes both games. Both of those games are Fantasy Flight games. They are known and renowned for their American-style board games. They do Descent, Mansions of Madness, Rebellion, Fallout. They cross the board on a lot of things. But these games are slightly different because they're app-based. I think Imperial Assault is the same, Star Wars one. The board is in front of you, but it brings up the picture of the board on the map, on the tablet or computer or whatever you're playing it on. So you click on it on the screen, it tells you what to do in the physical. So you still move around in the physical on the table bit, but the app runs the game for you. I think it helps with replayability because when you tell the app you've got expansions and stuff like that, you'll get different monsters, whereas you might not change the what you're actually supposed to do. It might change the room that it's in, or the monster that's protecting it, or something like that. And obviously it's American because it's themed. And being Egyptian, you've got Mansions of Madness once again. Sorry to keep mentioning him. It's Cthulhu based. H.P. Lovecraft.
Do you think we'll ever do an episode where you don't mention Cthulhu?
No, there's definitely going to be an episode where we only talk about Cthulhu. Where we're going to speak in tongues and learn how to summon.
I will try.
The great old ones. No. The theme for Cthulhu is just huge. The horror, the mental impact of the game on the characters, not on us. Like in most of them, the characters can go mad, or they just go insane. Mansions of Madness is very good. Like when you run out of health in your brain, you get a insanity card, and some of them are like you can't speak for the rest of the game. Like you physically can't talk as a person playing the game to anybody else, so you can't tell anybody what you're doing, or you become a pyromaniac, so you have to set everything on fire. So stuff like that. So you get a new win thing. But these app-based games are really good because they're normally cooperative. Me and my wife are currently playing through Descent: Legends of the Dark. We've got our characters and we're going through the story, and it's just really nice. There's a Lord of the Rings one as well. I want to say Shadows of Middle Earth, but that's wrong. There's a Lord of the Rings one. There's Fantasy Flight again. I wanted to mention them because of the app. Anybody that really struggles to read through storybooks, like if you've played Arkham Horror, you kind of have to read through the scenario in the book, whereas this one brings it to life. They're really good American games for me. We'll move on to Euro games. I know we've got lots of Euro games that we can talk about.
We could have done the whole episode of Euro games, but we needed someone to kind of compare it to.
Well, yeah, it was requested, and like we said, if anybody has any requests, please don't hesitate to leave us a comment, drop us a message on Instagram or a comment on Instagram. Just let us know what you want to hear about, and we'll try our best to, or if there's a game you want us to talk about, just a singular game. Obviously, if we have access to it, then we will. I can, if in doubt, I'll just download it on Tabletop Simulator. We can definitely sort that out. Euro games, I think this is the our most played category of games for us at the minute.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because of time restrictions.
I'd say probably 80% of the games we've played so far. Probably Euro games.
Absolutely. Some of my favourite games are Euro games, Wingspan being one of them. That's an engine builder, card-based laying game. It's very pretty. I like birds anyway. And the mechanics of it are just really well done. There's a lot of strategy to it, and now I've got all the expansions and all that kind of stuff. There's so many different bird cards that all do different things and impact in a different way. It just makes it really enjoyable.
Yeah, so on my buying list is Dog Park.
Yep.
But I want the collector's edition. So
Is that a Euro game?
I would imagine so, because it's artwork, it's card based.
I assume it's not a thing. I don't know what kind of game it is.
I think it would be Euro based, as it's very similar to something like Wingspan, where you're going around taking dogs for a walk around the park, collecting the dogs. Card based, there's no dice, there's no combat.
It's quite funny when you look up, is Dog Park a Euro game? It brings up the Euro Dog expansion.
Yes, that is one of them. I think, and then they did Forever Home, didn't they, as well? That came out, I think, last year.
Yeah. It's a set collection game, so I would assume it comes under that.
Yeah, I think it would be labelled as a Euro game, But yeah, that's on my purchase list, and it'll be quite fun to play as and when.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe Ginge has it.
He does, yes. But I don't know if he's just got the basic.
I think he's got it all. Cool. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's obviously rare for when you're talking about a board game that I don't know which one you're going on about.
It is very rare.
But yeah, I'd like to talk a little bit. I want to do a whole episode on this game, but Ark Nova is my favourite Euro game. I was only introduced to it 2 years ago. It wasn't long after it came. Well, I think actually it was quite a long time after it came out. I was introduced to it at the expo. I was taught it quite badly, and then retaught it. Sat down to play it on holiday with Ginge and his wife and my wife. Had to get my wife very drunk to play it because it's not her style game. And it did take quite a while, but the mechanics, the way it works, the artwork, the theme of it, everything just for me just clicked.
There's a reason why it's probably one of the most popular games
Absolutely
out there.
Absolutely. We're definitely going to get it to the table soon for us to play.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to get us through some Ameri games. One of the episodes coming up, obviously, is all Ameri games. So we will do that. So that's Ark Nova. It's only a little bit, like I said, because we are going to do an episode on it. I introduced you to Earth.
I really like Earth. I mean, I'd been pestering you for ages to play it. Just because I quite like the artwork in the box. And
absolutely. I'm going to completely big up the company that made it. Connor Magui.
It's a great name. Great name.
The designer for Inside Up Games. When we went to play test it, he was incredible. He told us all about the game, how it came to be, the whole lot. He's recently done a Kickstarter for an expansion. I found him very responsive as well to that kind of stuff. And he's just very excited about the game. He's done lots of other games since. I'm going to be honest with what drew me to the game was watching at the UK Board Game Expo, watching their piece of truss fall out of the ceiling, which is where we kind of got drawn in because I hadn't heard much about it. But as soon as we went over and saw that the list was full, apart from at 3:30 on the Sunday when it closes at 4, we had to get on it. It sold out Friday afternoon.
Wow. Well, so you couldn't even buy it.
I managed to get a copy on the Sunday. I won't say how we got it, but we got it. And as soon I didn't get to sit down and play it in the end. There was a small mix-up, and I gave up my chair for a couple who wanted to play, so they could both play together. Whereas I could have learned quite a lot from just watching. And the theme, the way it runs, building up the plants physically, getting the sprouts, being able to use all those pieces to actually build more.
Yeah, see, when we played it, I thought I was doing really well. I thought, wow, I picked this game up really quickly. I'm doing really well, and then I looked at the scores at the end and realised, damn, I suck. I suck so bad at this game.
You scored 201 points.
Which I thought was really good until you tell everyone your score.
I scored 266. Obviously, it was a 2-player game. People, please comment your scores of Earth if you have played, just to see where our baseline is. My personal best is 269.
My personal best is
201.
201.
And according to my board game stats app, I have a 100% win record.
Congratulations.
Earth is an incredible game. I'm really looking forward to the expansion. Abundance, they're bringing out recycled plastic pieces, so it's not the wooden bits anymore.
I think you kind of have to do a sustainable extras, don't you, for a game called Earth?
I think that was quite a big thing about doing the plastic stuff. Obviously, wood's more sustainable. Everything was originally made of wood. Now it's all made of recycled materials.
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, Inside Up Games. I'd like to try some more of their games.
Yeah, definitely.
But Earth is definitely up there. Is there any other Euro games you'd like to speak about or want to play? I could always give a quick
Evandor, that's a
Everdell.
that's a Euro, isn't it?
That's a Euro.
Yeah, I'd like to play Everdell.
Like
Everdell.
like Earth, it is a tableau building game. Cute critters, different shops. Once again, earning points. There's a nice cardboard tree.
Yep.
Very good table.
It looks
presence.
really good table. It looks really, really good on table.
I only have one problem with Everdell, and that's the fact that the expansion's just as expensive as the base game, if not more so. I know they add so much, and my problem is I really want them all, but I can't spend £76 on an expansion that I don't know what it adds. But Everdell itself is a really good game. It's one of the Euro games that my wife does like. Mainly because it's got cute critters, like you get extra points if a husband and wife are together. You can play animals for free as well, so you don't burn through your resources. So if you've got a post office, you can play a postal pigeon for free into it once. So then you put a door on it to say it's full. There is a little bit of player interaction in it, which is quite nice. You can play a fool to somebody else, and that gives them minus points. But once again, it's one of those, like at the end of every season, you can build yourself extra perks. You get berries and twigs and nectar and all the amber and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we can definitely give that one a go. That's high up on the ratings for most people as well, I think, along with Wingspan, Art Nova.
Yeah, and Great Fire of London. What is that? An Ameritrash or is that a Euro?
It would be an American game because the whole thing is based on the theme.
Okay.
The Great Fire of London. That's the one that I demoed my first year at the expo, and still love. I love it even more now because there is now a 2-player expansion, so me and my wife can sit and play it without having to play 2 different colours. I mean, the 2-player expansion is that you play 2 different colours, but then there's almost like an AI, but it's very set in its way. That comes along and just changes the game ever so slightly. We can definitely give that one a go.
Yeah, definitely want to give that a go.
That's another company I like to shout out, which is Medusa Games. Richard Denning, the guy who owns it, runs the Board Game Expo. Lovely man, very knowledgeable, makes some great games. He's done Great Fire of London, 9 Worlds, Magnificent Flying Machine. So yeah, all his games I've really liked. They've got really cool artwork as well, but the theme is just really cool. But yeah, we can definitely get that one going as well. So yeah, I mean that's like we said, we've gone through the difference. Obviously, there are some games that are hybrids. And there are some games that aren't categorised. Like when I asked you if Disney Villainous is Euro or no, the reason it wasn't called Euro or Ameritrash is because Villainous isn't either of those games. It doesn't technically come under a single one. Obviously, there are more categories than Euro and Ameritrash. There's a lot of people that don't even use those categories anymore. Your original old school gamers will go by those, and most people know a Euro game. But some people call them worker placement games. Some people like trick playing games. Some people like domino laying games or engine building games. That kind of stuff. So it's one of those. I think for me personally, it's almost like a generational thing. I don't tend to use Euro and Ameri very often. But that is what they are. Your Earth Art Nova is very much a Euro game. So if you need to say it as it is, that's fine. But I describe something like Earth as a tableau building game.
You've got to grow and keep hold of things and make sure that they work together. You are building something. not necessarily something like Axis and Allies where you're just going out and needlessly wiping out the other opponent.
Absolutely. My main thing is when I describe a Euro game to somebody, they say, "Oh, is it like this game?" Like I say to somebody, "Do you want to play Merv, for instance?" But I've said it to my wife. She goes, "But it's just Lords of Waterdeep in a different skin." Now, to me, that's unacceptable to say because Lord of Waterdeep and Merv are two completely different games, and they are very different. But I describe one as a worker placement game, whereas Merv I would describe as a Euro game because it has a few more bits to it. Euro to me can sometimes be too broad. Like we said, Earth is a tableau building game. Lords of Waterdeep is a worker placement game. But then like you got something like Everdell that is a worker placement tableau building game. So by rights, it's a Euro game. Whereas we don't tend to label stuff as an American style game at all, really. Star Wars Rebellion is a Star Wars game.
Mm-hmm.
Hellboy is a Hellboy game.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, Skyrim's a video game.
Yeah.
Based.
All come under American games and all very similar in mechanics, but people don't tar it with the same brush they do Euro games.
No, not at all, do they? It's. I think if you're playing something like Hellboy or playing something like Skyrim, you're drawn to that game because of the title. No, you're not drawn to that game, or Star Wars. You're not drawn to that game because that's an Ameritrash game. Oh, that plays like this, so I know I'm going to pick it up easy. It's nothing to do with that. It's because I'm a fan of Hellboy. I'm a fan of Skyrim. I'm going to get the board game to go with the video games and the movies.
I think that's why some companies do American style games, because you're not tarred with that brush of going, this is a Euro game. You know, people are going to go, it's just like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't sit down and play Skyrim the other day and go, it's exactly like this game, because it is different. You know, obviously there would be similarities if I want to nitpick.
See, I found similarities, so I played Horrified the other day, played the one-player version, and I found there was very strong similarities to how Ankh played, where I've got to go around, pick up these bits, make sure I've got enough to do the tasks that I've got to do to destroy that monster, like Angst, where you have to go and do these certain set bits before you can battle.
Like you said though, like any game can be like any other game. It's very, very rare now, especially for somebody like myself who plays a lot of games, who owns a lot of games. I go out now to try and find a game that's different to anything that I have, and being in the world of board games now, playing a lot, learning a lot, reading a lot, it's becoming harder and harder to find that different thing. You know, it's why some people don't play Euro games. I know people that only play Euro games because they don't like Ameri games, because they know they're good at strategy games and they want to beat you that way, not leave it down to a dice roll. And then obviously there are other people that won't play a board game without a dice. You know? And it is one of those. I think Ameri games are so theme heavy that they get a lot more leeway in people's brains.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of people are more like, right, we're going to play Star Wars because I can be that role of I can play as Luke Skywalker, and I can relive my thoughts of his character, but I can emulate those.
It's one of those. I play Star Wars Rebellion with people, and it is a tip. If you are playing Star Wars Rebellion with me and you're the rebels, don't put your rebel base on Alderaan, because I will blow it up turn one if I have the ability to, because Alderaan does not belong on the Star Wars map. Sorry to the people of Alderaan.
We got some listeners over in Alderaan, haven't
we? But it's just one of those, isn't it? Like, if I'm the Empire, I'm going to go and destroy Alderaan.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people I've played Rebellion with, and they've normally built their rebel base on Hoth or on Tatooine, because they're the two planets that people know, or Endor,
Mm-hmm.
But that's just because that's what the game draws you to. It draws you to your memories.
Mm-hmm.
And it is one of those. I think that's what gets it a lot of the theme. The gameplay being linked to the theme is a very useful tool for game designers, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to add a new segment. I don't know how regular it's going to be, but it's going to be called One Excited Worm, because that's what I am right now.
You are an excited worm.
I've been.
I can see you beaming from across the table as a very excited worm.
I have received a few emails recently from crowdfunding websites saying that there's some games that are about to come my way, and I can't wait. So I'd like to just go through a few of them, maybe discuss a few, if you've got any questions, whatever. So this segment is literally just going to be what we're excited for. Obviously, this week it's just me, because
I'm never excited.
I've only just told Pops about this. I mean, while I'm talking, he might think of something that he's excited to do, apart from not be on the podcast. So the first game I'm going to talk about is Cryptid Nature. Now, I backed this on Kickstarter in January. It's by a company called ID Venture. And it is a game about finding cryptids and putting them into a reserve of sorts. I love cryptids, the legends and the myths of these creatures. And they've got a list of loads of them that are going to be in there. Obviously, your obvious ones like Nessie and Bigfoot. There's one called Lou Carlock. So that's LOU space CARCOLH. And it looks like it's half snail, half dragon.
So is that going to be really quick, or is it going to be very slow?
I don't really know.
Or is it just going to stay in one place because it can't decide whether it wants to be quick or slow?
I'm interested to learn about some of these cryptids that I've never heard of as well. It does come with a solo mode.
Nice.
But it does look really good fun to play. They've been very clever in the way that they've done this, in my thing. They've made sure that it's suitable for colourblind people, and that nothing is too difficult to learn. Obviously, I've backed it at the highest level I could, and I received an email 2 days ago saying, please lock down your email, your delivery address, as it will be leaving the warehouse soon. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that one. My other one that I have on good authority will be with us soon. I apologise if anybody else has backed it and knows anything different, but that is Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, wonderful
board game.
That is amazing. I'm now slightly more excited than I was 2 minutes ago.
It does involve a token of the Black Knight that you can take the legs and arms off of. It has a cow catapult. There are knights that say knee. Very thematic. I love the Monty Python and the Holy Grail movie, so being able to play through just looks like really good fun. There's nothing other than the fact that it's Monty Python that drew me to it. I haven't really looked that much into it. I could be very
I don't think you need
disappointed
to. Well, as soon as it arrives, let us know, and we'll have a game.
Absolutely.
We'll let you know what we think of it.
It says it's 2 to 5 players and 40 to 60 minutes. So we'll see. It should be good fun.
We could fit that in, I'm sure.
There's one other thing I'd like to talk about. I've backed it at the lowest level so far. That'd be Robo Rover. I've sent this to you.
Yep.
This game looks incredible.
It looks amazing. Even the lowest level was very expensive.
I've backed it at the point where I've put money in and not going to get anything out of it unless I go to the pledge manager and add it later on, just because I don't really want to miss it. Robo Rover, if somebody doesn't know, it's a game that looks like it's been in production for years. It has loads of moving parts. It's app based. There's what do they call it? It's down as a tech. Where's it gone? Really useful. Sorry, guys. Technology augmented board game. So like there's parts of this. There's like a plastic model in the middle that has bubbling water in it. You scan cards into it, and it moves around, and it does different things, and it tells you what's going on the tablet, and it looks really good. They've released some expansions for it and all that on Kickstarter. It looks very immersive. It's got a narrative, and it's apparently really replayable. The only problem is the price. But for all the work that you can see has gone into it, all the craftsmanship, all the hours of just trying to get all this right, it's been computer programmed. It's got so much stuff in there, coding, the design of it, and obviously somebody's come up with the narrative for it as well. So I'd definitely be keeping my eye out for when the pledge manager for that opens. Oh, so the plastic model is called the Intelligent Fortress. And it's got an RFI reader, servos, semi-transparent ABS plastic. It's got an air pump and valve, an atomizer. It's got loads. It's got a built-in walkie-talkie and all that kind of stuff. So it's really immersive.
I'd be interested to see how you incorporate all that into the gameplay.
Oh, absolutely. Without it taking over. I mean,
yes.
Just as a quick snapshot, the basic pledge level is $225, and the upper pledge level is $299. So actually, the gap between the two isn't bad for what you get.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
difference. It's still a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
For a board game.
I was really hoping it'd go to somewhere that does stretch pay.
Yeah.
Another game that I'm excited to try, I don't know enough about, apart from the fact it is basically Jurassic Park. It's Dinogenics, and that's on a platform where you can split the payments. And I will be backing that at late pledge manager on top tier, because it's not going to cost me £400 to back it instantly. No. But crowdfunding is something we're going to discuss. It's a very techie point, and I think I'm going to get a guest in on that one, because she has some very big opinions about large companies using crowdfunding. Obviously, for those people that don't know, we are talking about Kickstarter, GameFound, BackerKit, all of these kind of things. So we will do an episode on that, I think, for people, mainly to bring people in on what it is, how safe it is, how unsafe it is, what could go wrong, what can go right, why it's good for some companies and not others.
Yeah, you have to remember that backing something on a crowdfunding page is not necessarily 100% you buying the game.
It's actually 0% of you buying a game.
Exactly.
When you receive the goods, the company gifting it to you for your money. You're not buying it. It's not a guaranteed buy. You're giving people the money to give you the game. But like we said, we'll do a full episode on it. Let us know if that's something you do want to hear. We'll move it up the queue if it's something that people are interested in. But yeah, I think this is a slightly shorter episode than normal. But we hope you've enjoyed. Please follow us on Instagram, interact with us on Instagram. The Instagram handle is Tome _of_worms_pod. On there you'll find a link to our merch page. Please follow us on Spotify, leave us a rating, leave some comments, and please pass on the word. We are a podcast that is currently just running on word of mouth. Some of these podcast platforms have very strict rules on when you can get advertising and be advertised and all this kind of stuff. So please let everybody know, and let us know if you're enjoying it. We're open to constructive criticism. Don't just say I don't like either of your voices.
No one likes my voice. I don't even like the sound of my voice.
That's why I edit it.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you all again soon.
Ta-ra.